So if you start with this black one, just a third of a bar of sprint and just a quarter bar of health. So these first two aren't very good. And then you drop down into the next two, and your health and your speed bar or your sprint bar have increased. And then you get into the tricolor, which is I have a tricolor, and the dappled buckskin, and they get quite a bit better on your stamina. So that's something to kind of watch for when you're purchasing a horse. This is the horse that we'll be running. If you'll actually notice, the sprint is not maxed out on this horse, neither is the health. But when the horse will be running, those are maxed out, because it will increase a fair bit just by running the horse and getting that last little bit out of it. Alright, so we're going to start with my horse Clara here. Or not Clara, Anna. We have a Foxmore saddle, which is kind of a mid-tier saddle, nothing super great, but not horrible either. The only real upgrade that makes any difference is I have the Tapadoros stirrup, which affects a drain rate of 45% or minus 45%. So we're going to run to the end of town and come back. And then we're going to swap saddles out. Alright, so here we go. Here's our run. You know, it is going down. Not the best saddle in my lineup by far. Most of them I'm running the Nacogdoches saddle. But this one does just fine on this horse. This isn't the fastest horse in my in the stable either. Alright, so we've run to the far end of town and back. We're right back at the stable. I'm going to shush the horse, and we're almost all the way back full again. And then the regen is fairly brisk on this saddle. Alright, let's go back in here, and we're going to swap saddles real quick. Once I get through the cutscene, let's see, horses, manage owned horses. So, same horse, saddles. Now this is a super basic saddle, it has no stirrups, no anything. Oh wait, you know, it helps if I actually put it on the horse. Now, exact same run, just to the end of town and back. Here we go. I'm going to shush the horse. If you look, it only brought me up to about a quarter. And it's now that I'm standing still, it's moving up actually pretty good, but it could recharge faster. And that's part of what you're paying for with the higher end saddles. Alright, we're going to go into the ability loadout. So my go-to, I mean, painted black's good, especially on mouse and keyboard. I'm not very good with mouse and keyboard, so I just don't. Alright. The Iron Lung and Peak Conditioning, these two work together very well. Basically, one regenerates your stamina faster, and you take less damage if your stamina is good, and the other uses less damage, and you deal more damage when your stamina is good. And then you couple that with Strange Medicine that will basically allow you to recharge your health while you, whenever you inflict damage. So my best example is I went and wiped out everybody in Thieves Landing, getting shot up, tearing everybody down. And I'm pretty good at utilizing the quick lock in the controller, so I can drop people pretty quick. But basically, it got to the end, and somebody thought I was modding because of these ability cards. So I actually had about a 15-minute conversation and kind of walked him through what my ability loadout was, and he had no idea what all this stuff was. But just for fun here, we're gonna swap Strange Medicine. So there's a couple other ones. So like Ride Like the Wind was a pretty good one when I was doing a lot of things horseback. But we're looking for... Alright. So Horseman, again, more damage. Necessity Breeds. That one's not a bad one because you basically get more aggressive, or more... Yeah, you deal more damage as you're getting close to dying. But just for fun, we're going to fire off the Hangman. Okay. So this is what Hangman does. So that was basically an instant kill with it. But it always goes... With Hangman on, even the low tier, it always... goes right around their neck. And this is why it's so bad for this particular one. If you're doing anything, you know, like dragging hides and whatnot, you end up degrading the hide. So you take a 3-star all the way down to a 1-star just by using the Hangman on them. So this one's fun for playing with your friends because it completely messes their day up. Also, one of the availables for the Bounty Hunter license is you can upgrade to the Reinforced Lasso. And the biggest thing with that one is it is much more difficult to get out of. It's, you know, doesn't have any more range or anything like that, but it is significantly harder to... You gotta struggle and roll around to get free of it. Just always make sure that this one is highlighted in your inventory when you get off your horse, so it stays on you. Yeah, you'll only be able to change it while you're on your horse. But anyway, that was just a few things that I'm playing with. Hopefully that helps you out a little bit. One more thing in my loadout, what I started doing is I have the dual wield. You know, I have my Navy, which is my go-to arm for pretty much everything. And then I have a Schofield in the offhand holster. The nice thing about a Schofield in the offhand holster is you put explosive rounds in it. Tear some shit up if you ever want to.
Come on, you ain't gonna shoot me.
And it just causes a big old mess.